Okay, today we're going to take a quick look at InDesign. This lesson is going to go over a couple of different things from you, how to import pictures, text, create your headings, draw your text boxes, and a few of the shortcuts along the way in order to help you create a front page. So I've already got InDesign open here, and I've got our basic template. You'll see this template already has your fonts chosen for you, so all you have to do is click over here and tell it what it is you're doing, and it'll pick that for you. That helps out quite a bit when it comes to choosing fonts and keeping our paper consistent. So the first thing we need to do when thinking about this page is we need to figure out what we want it to look like. Now I've already looked at the photos and got a few things figured out. So we're going to start with our center photo here and go from there. All right, so our biggest photo I know is going to be a photo of Trump, and I want that to be the main focal point, so I'm going to draw a box for that right in this area. And my box doesn't have to be perfect to start, but I think that's pretty close to what I want. The next thing I need to do, and I'm going to show you two ways to do this. The first one is you can hit Command D, and it's going to take me to my photos. I've already came into the page where they're in this folder, I know that. So I'm going to click on the image, it'll give me a little preview. Yep, that's the one I want, and there it is. I've already imported my first photo into my page. The next thing I want to do is go up here to Object and Fitting and Fill Frame Proportionately. It just makes that look a little bit better and fit the frame like it should. So we've already got our photo. It doesn't have to stay here. I can click on my selection tool over here on the left-hand side of the screen, and I can move it wherever I want as time goes on. Sometimes I move them out of the way just so I can work on the page. But this photo, since it's going to be our focal point, I'm going to keep it right there for now so I can start working on it. So the next thing we need to do is up top here will be our school headline, and I don't have that pasted in right now, but we'll get to that in a minute. If we don't have time in this tutorial, we'll paste it in on the next one. So the next thing I need to do is I need to get a headline for this photo, and it's going to go right above it, and I'm going to click on my text tool over here on the left, and I'm going to draw that headline box. I want that to take up the entire page, all the way across the front of our paper, because it's the big lead story. Click my selection tool, I can resize it so it goes within the guides. And now let's see what I want in there. Trump's meeting does not go well. All right, so you can't see that, right? Mainly because it's in a photo cut line font. So I'm going to click on headline font. Oh, there we go. And now it's taking up too many lines. So Trump's meeting in Helinska. Some points. Let's try that. And then, in order to make that fit, I can leave it in that same font, and I'm just going to take it down a little bit here and see if that works. All right, perfect. Now, I probably don't just want a headline. I'm going to add a deck to that. So let's go down to click on deck, and then I'm going to do something like meeting causes turmoil for Trump's administration. Let's just leave it at that for now, and that'll be fine. I would normally try to avoid using the same words, meeting and meeting, so I will probably rethink that, but for now it's fine. You can see right now my box is way too big, so I'm going to shrink that box down a little bit. You can do it that way and just make it work, and then I'm going to move my photo up to meet that because I want the photo right below it. All right, so we've got the start to our first article. The next thing we need to do, and I'm hurrying just a little bit because I want to keep this under 10 minutes so it loads to YouTube better. The next thing we need to do is we need to get our text. So let's click on a text box. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to drag that down. And it's going to go below the picture a little bit because I want it to get the caption and a little text underneath each one. And I'm going to get my selection tool, fix that box just a touch. Done. And now I need text, obviously. So the easiest way to do that is just to go grab it. So click on the box. And I already showed you Command D. That takes you there to place. but you can also click File, Place, and there's the text for this article. It's already been written, of course. And we're just going to drop it right in there. Ta-da, there it is. Now, a couple of things here really quickly. I know that I need to change my font a little bit. I need to change that because that is the byline. So that's byline 1. And then byline 2 is there. And you can see it even puts a little line below it. And then all this stuff is body copy, so I'm going to change that to body copy. And then you can see it starts showing more because my body copy is much smaller. Make sure that's all the right body copy. And then there's got to be a better way to do that, but I always get confused. All right, so you can see down here I got a little red plus. That's because the article is not finished. So I know I need more text boxes. So I'm going to add a more text box over here. My other one's going to start right in here. And these are just going to be small ones down below to keep from having a giant text box somewhere. And that little green line you see appearing tells us that you've got it lined up on the bottom. They're all off on the top, so I'm going to quick grab my selection tool and fix those. And you'll see a little green line show up when they're right. Should. There's the green line, but this one is not right. Looks like it's a half pike off or something. There we go. All right, now all I got to do is click on that X. Usually, don't do that. Don't know what it's doing. It's trying to change my angle for me. Click on that X, typically, right there, that little cross. There it is. And then that drags the text in and keeps just dragging it over in a continuous fashion until the article is finished. If it doesn't finish, we'll worry about that later. It's still got one more box here that I'll put in. But right now, that's going to be good enough. We do need a caption here, so we need to draw a text box under that photo. So real quick, I'm going to draw that. And just like always, grab my selection tool and make it work. And then I would put the caption there and readjust accordingly. The next thing I want to show you just real quick, I only got a couple minutes left to keep it under 10 minutes. The next thing I want to show you real quick is the second part. I think I'm going to do a column over here. In this, I have a choice of an article that's about an actress. So I think I'm going to put a photo of her here and then something going down this right side, like a little column. The one thing I didn't do to this picture was go into paragraph. And I did not outline it. Now you can see right there I've outlined it. And it's just got a little border around it, which helps it stay a little cleaner. Over here you can see I've got a little goof up here. You can notice the paragraphs and stuff are indented now. I'm just going to enter that down, so I've got my little line there. All that was in my styles already, so you guys didn't even have to do that. It just does that for you when you click body copy or byline 2. All right, so the next thing I want to do is the rest of my articles. I know for the other ones, I want to do a little montage of pictures down here, kind of a little module. So I'm going to start clicking. And I'm going to draw my first module box, and I want it to be a longer one, and I'll show you why, because I know what photos go in there. So real quick, I'm going to hit Command D. I'm going to grab the picture I want of the Thailand rescue. There it is. Open, and oh my goodness, it's way too huge. Remember, we got to go to Object, Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionately, and much better. And then I know below it, I'm going to do a 2, and I'm going to cheat and not use a guideline here. I'm going to go halfway through that box with 1, and then we're going to grab it. So I'm going to hit select, Command D, and I'm going to grab the second Thailand photo. And same problem, Object. There is a shortcut for this fitting, but I never remember it. Yeah, see, it's 3 different buttons. There we go. I kind of like that. And then I'm going to draw one more. And I will probably end up putting some sort of trim in there. I don't know yet. But then I'm going to add my last one once again. Object, Fitting, boom. Now we got something going. That's my timer telling me that's 10 minutes. So real quick before we finish, so this will upload correctly. I'm going to put borders on all these. So I just need to go to my selection tool, select, and paragraph, frame, frame, click, frame. So now I got something going. Now, obviously up here will be my headline, and I'll figure that out in just a second. All right, so you've seen how to bring in headlines, pictures, text. You're doing pretty good on all that. Now, let's just take a quick look at the headline one more time. I'm going to draw a text box here. And let's say I wanted to, so this is probably going to end up coming over to here somewhere, right in there actually. And let's say, actually that leaves us a great idea. So we'll put text here and here for the Trump article. And then down here we'll do our columns so our headlines don't mash into each other and our pictures don't mash up. So let's say we got another headline here. This is my headline. And oh, of course it doesn't fit. So I'm going to go over here to paragraph. And I'm going to click on headline 48. And it still doesn't fit. So we go up here. We're going to increase that leading. I think that's the leading. I have to always look up those two terms. But you can see now it's dragging it across the whole page. So it's going to act as a great divider for me. And there we go. That is the end of the lesson today. Hopefully you learned how to import photos, headlines. We need captions here. We'll probably do those down below, but we'll make that work. And that is it for today. So now it's your turn to go try.